What's up guys, and welcome to my video. So this video is going to be about 10 reasons that Super Mario 3D World is amazing, and I'm sure there's so many other reasons that I haven't come up with for this list, because overall the game is actually really good, and it actually received quite a lot of hate when it first came out, because people were upset that it wasn't like the usual open world 3D Mario game, and they thought that the Mario series had changed, and this is how all the 3D Mario games will be from now on. But then we got Super Mario Odyssey, so people started to look at Super Mario 3D World on its own and realized that it was actually a really good game. It just had a different style compared to the other 3D Mario games because it's more linear and similar to the new Super Mario Bros. Series where you have to get to the end of the level where there's a flag. So yeah, if you enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe and click like and comment down below any reasons that make you love this game so much. So one of the reasons that Super Mario 3D World is amazing is because it has such a variety of levels. Now this makes the game so good because every single level feels different, and the game's constantly showing you new features and new art styles in each level, and no two levels feel the same. On new Super Mario Bros. Games, each world has its own like theme, so it'll have the desert world or the water world, and I'm not too fond of like some of the themes, and they can get boring, and having a whole world based off of it kind of slows down the pace of the game. But in Super Mario 3D World, there'll be like one or two levels that are themed around the world you're in, but then a bunch of others are just completely different and have their own style. And their own game mechanics inside them. So the gameplay you can see now just shows a bunch of levels and how different each one is. And yeah, this means every level feels fresh and exciting, so you can't really get bored, because if you're bored of one level, you just play the next one and it'll be completely different. The second reason for why this game is amazing is because of the characters. I think it's the second 3D Mario game to have characters that do different abilities, because in Super Mario 64 on the DS you got characters like Wario who had their own like specific functions you could use them for, and in 3D World, because it's a multiplayer game, they had to add some characters into the game, and each of them does their own special ability. So Mario is your all-around character, so he can like run quite fast and jump quite high and do all that. And then you've got Luigi, who can jump really high, and then Toad, who can run really fast, and Peach can actually like hover for a bit or like float down because her dress like keeps her up, kind of like an umbrella, I guess. Um, and then the secret character that you unlock at the end of the game is Rosalina, and she can do a spin jump like from Mario Galaxy, so it's almost like a double jump, not as high as a double jump, but it's very helpful. And I'd say Rosalina's ability is probably my favourite, but all of them are quite useful, and it adds a bunch of replayability as you can try out each level with each character, and in order to 100% the game, you have to complete each level with every single character at least once. So yeah, the characters make the game really fun. Okay, and my next reason kind of builds off of this idea that there's characters, because as we have a bunch of characters, you can actually play multiplayer on this game with up to 4 friends, which is actually amazing. It's the first 3D Mario game that has multiplayer on, and it makes the game so much more fun. The best memories I have of me and my friends playing this game after school together, you just have like infinite replayability if you can play with your friends, because you can just mess around and try and kill each other or try and work together, or you could have like a contest of who can get the most score. And adding multiplayer into 3D Mario games was a really, really good idea. Okay, on to my fourth reason, and it is the art style. As Super Mario 3D World has this really bright and beautiful looking art style, it goes with like a more cartoony style than the other 3D Mario games. Mario Galaxy was like themed around space, and Super Mario Sunshine was like a bright beachy theme, but in Super Mario 3D World, every level is just so colourful and exciting, and the graphics look really nice. It was the first HD 3D Mario game, so it was a big step up from Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. And the art style is just really good with the HD textures, and the first level in the game just looks so amazing and bright with the green grass and all the nice looking trees, and I think that's a great level to start the game off on. Reason number 5 that I came up with is the collectibles in the game make it really, really fun, because these add a bunch of replayability, so even if you complete every level in the game, you can still go back and collect each item in the game. So there is 3 green stars in each level and 1 stamp in each level. And they're really fun to collect because some of them are like quite easy to see, but you'll have to like try and make your way to get them. And some of them are in like these cool areas where you can do little challenges to collect them. And then the stamps are also like hidden away in the levels, and it's really fun looking around and exploring to collect them. And it's kind of like what you do in other 3D Mario games where it's more open world and you have to explore, but it's like on a smaller level. But yeah, this actually adds so much to do once you complete the game. And the game also requires you to collect like quite a lot of green stars to progress, so you'll even have to be looking out for them when you're just trying to complete each level. And so yeah, this makes the game really replayable, which is always a good feature, and yeah, they're really fun to try and find. My sixth reason is also about being able to play the game for even longer, as this reason that the game is amazing is it has a bunch of extra levels once you complete the main story. So when you finally defeat Bowser in the epic boss battle, you unlock 3 special worlds. One of the complaints of the game was that it was quite easy, and so these special worlds actually give you more challenging levels at the end if you think you're too good for the original levels. When you're finally done with the game, there's still so much extra content for you to do, and the final level of the final special world is meant to be one of the hardest levels in a 3D Mario game, and it would definitely mean you are dying a lot of times, and you might even need help from certain power-ups to complete it. So yeah, having these extra levels makes it a really good game to go back to after you finish the main story and still have a bunch of fun if you don't feel like replaying the older levels. Another reason the game was amazing is it actually introduced the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker game, as that game is actually a spin-off from Super Mario 3D World. Because in Super Mario 3D World, there are a bunch of these like special levels, and some of them were these Captain Toad levels where you had to play as Captain Toad, and the idea was you can't jump. And it's like a puzzle type of game where you have to walk around each level looking for all the green stars. And because everyone loved this in Super Mario 3D World so much, Nintendo actually decided to make a spin-off game, which is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And I loved the levels in Super Mario 3D World, and I really loved that game, so I'm very glad it happened, and I'm grateful for Super Mario 3D World for giving us that game as well. Okay, my next reason is that this game has so many cool power-ups. Super Mario 3D World added in the cat power-up, and it turns any character into a cat, which can climb up walls, which is so fun, and it can also do a really cool dive ability, and an attack where you can just kill enemies without just having to stomp on their head. Every character has their own different coloured cat, and surprisingly Mario's is yellow, even though he wears like a red outfit and a hat. And Luigi's is green, which is pretty obvious, and Toad's is blue, and Peach's is pink, and Rosalina's catsuit is actually black, which I'm quite surprised by because I would think she would have like a light blue one, but I guess that clashes with Toad's color. But yeah, these power-ups are really cool to use, but the game also brought back the leaf power-up, which means you can like float around and also attack with your tail. This power-up was also in Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, and it was very good there, so they brought it back into Super Mario 3D World. But it also has the fire flower, and it has like a super leaf, which is if you die a bunch of times you can use this leaf, which makes you like almost invincible, to make the level much easier. And the game also added the cherry power up, which when you get it, your character turns into 2 characters that you control at the same time. This allowed for some levels with really cool puzzles in. We had to try and move your characters onto different panels that required a certain amount of characters on them at once, and that was a really cool concept that they used in a few levels. The game also had a boomerang power-up where you could chuck a boomerang, similar to some of the enemies in the game, and the boomerang would come back to you like they usually do, and it's good for killing enemies from long range so they can't attack you. They also just have a mushroom which makes small characters into like normal-sized ones, and they have the giant mushroom which turns you into a huge version of your character, but it's actually not used very much in the game. I only saw it a couple of times. But they also have the star, which is a classic Mario item, which means you're invincible for a certain amount of time. And I really like that item. So yeah, this game has a bunch of cool power-ups, and I really hope they add some more ones when they release the game on the Switch. That would be even cooler. So my ninth reason this game is amazing is because the whole game has just got really good platforming levels. Because the game is so linear, it allows for like everything to be platforming. And you're constantly having to do some jumps to get somewhere, because a lot of the other 3D Mario games don't have purely just platforming because you have to explore the open world and stuff, but because this game is linear, it means like there is constantly something you have to be platforming on. And platforming is Mario's roots, so that is a really cool feature of this game. And it means every level is like quite fast paced because you're not just looking for the next place to go to. So some people could see that as a downside because they like the exploration, but it does make the game quite exciting at all times. Okay, and on to my final reason for the game being amazing, is a level I've talked about earlier in the video, and it's actually the amazing final level for the game. And I'll be showing some footage of this in the background and how difficult it actually is, and it just makes you feel so good when you complete this because you really feel like you deserve to like beat the game once you do this level. And it's like a huge test of all your skills that you've learned throughout the whole game and different like features of it. And you have to try and do it in one long run, and it will definitely take you a bunch of attempts to complete. I don't even know if I've ever completed it. I might have actually failed on it and just given up, but I'm definitely going to try and complete it when the game releases on Switch again. But yeah, so that was my final reason for the game being amazing, and I'm sure there's so many others. I just wanted to make like a list of 10. There were even a few extra that I could think of, but they didn't make the list, and I'm sure you guys can think of even better ones. So comment those down below, and I'll be sure to reply to your comments. And anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video was entertaining and it got you excited for Super Mario 3D World coming out for the Switch. And if you liked it, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, um, and also like the video. That would help out a lot. And I'll see you in the next video. Anyway, goodbye. Thank you for watching.